Hi, everybody. My name is Kerstin Larson. I'm the programming director at Milwaukee Film, and we're so excited that we're able to start the 2021 Milwaukee Film Festival presented by Associated Bank. And I'm so happy to be joined today by the director of the film Pink Cloud, Iuli Gerbase. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, nice to meet you, and thank you for having me.
So obviously, this has been a very buzzy film since it premiered at Sundance, because it is just completely wild that you made it in 2019 before any of this pandemic stuff happened. Ignoring that for now, I would love to hear just how you came up with the idea for the film in the first place.
Yes, people say that I should have a different career telling the future, so I'm thinking about it. No, yes, I wrote in 2017, 2016 and 2017, and my first idea was I wanted to talk about this couple and to explore this relationship where a couple that had just met, suddenly they had to stay together for a long period of time in the same apartment, and they didn't know each other very well. They wanted just to have a simple one night stand, and suddenly they were in this kind of forced marriage. And when I was thinking about the reasons for it, when the concept of this pink cloud that is mysterious and nobody knows what it is and it's very weird, I really like that concept because I wanted to get away from reality a little bit and to have this concept that was more surrealistic and sci-fi and not something like a war or something like that.
And something that I just think is so fascinating about the film is just how spot on the psychology of the characters is, just how they react to the situation. And as you were developing the story, did you do any research about psychology of isolation or talk to any experts or anything like that?
I didn't, and I'm very happy with that. That now, even now that we have experienced our confinements and our quarantines and lockdowns, uh, there is not one scene on the film that I watch right now that I feel, oh, nobody would feel like that, nobody would think that. I think that it makes sense emotionally, even having now experienced it. And for me, it was important that the two characters had different reactions. They have almost like opposite reactions to the cloud and to the confinement. So yes, I was really focusing on those characters, and I spoke a lot with the actors about the characters and their reactions, but I didn't talk to a psychology in that way. I do therapy myself for a long time, but no, it was out of imagination and just like thinking about our human essence and emotions.
Well, obviously you did a great job. I'm curious, sort of, as the pandemic started to develop, what was your reaction, and like everybody who worked on the film, what was the reaction to sort of see this fictional story that you created more or less come to life?
It was very bizarre for everyone because it was supposed to be a sci-fi. It was never supposed to become reality. We never thought. I think it happens, oh, you shoot a film and then some things become reality. But when it's so out of the ordinary, the things that happen, you never imagine it would become reality. And so when the pandemic started, I think it was by March of 2020 when we started hearing more about it, and we were afraid that it would hit Brazil because we were not one of the first countries that got hit by it. All the crew was sending me texts all day saying, "Did you hear? Did you see this news? Did you see that? Did you see that? This was our scene. Now it's reality." And I got very anxious. And people are like, "We have to release the film right now," and I'm like, "It's not ready. We can't release it. We have to wait for a festival." Like, no, you should put on Netflix right now. And I'm like, no, I went to do film festivals. I think they are so great and so important, and so it was bizarre for us for sure. And in the beginning, we were joking like, oh, we did a rehearsal, like the film was like a rehearsal, so we are very prepared emotionally for it. But of course, some months later, we all were tense and nervous like everybody, because in the beginning we thought, oh, this will last 2 months, and then suddenly we knew that it would last a year.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't last as long as it does in your movie because that's very extreme. But is there anything that happened in real life with the quarantine that sort of surprised you compared to like your interpretation of how people would react to having to shelter in place in their home, and maybe that you wish you could have added to the film?
I think there were so many terrible and sad things in real life that are not on the film, because of course the film was not about the pandemic. The cloud is supposed to be something that is mysterious and metaphorical, so you have like other meanings for the cloud, and it's not supposed to be a virus, it's not supposed to be related with what we are living right now. So I think in the film is harder. Because they can't even open their windows, and it lasts like years and years. And I hope ours doesn't. So the situation is harder. At the same time, when we see the news, of course, things are worse, because in the film I focus on their relationship, and they are in a difficult situation, but they are comfortable. They have each other. They have something. And here in Brazil, it has been terrible. It's one of the worst countries. So yes, I think reality, the bad side was harder, and the good side and the funny side was very relatable, because I had in the film they have this, they sing "Happy Birthday" through screens, and I have a godson, and he did his birthday. He turned 5, and I was like in Zoom singing for him, and I was like, it's just like the movie. That's so bizarre. I did my own birthday party online, everything online, because we are. It doesn't matter if our stupid president says that we can't do anything, that is just a flu. Me and my friends, we were taking care of us and of other people.
Yeah, it was nice in the movie that people could get food delivered through their windows and stuff like that, if only that was possible for us. But I know you mentioned the relationship between the two main characters and how intense that was. How was it working with the actors to sort of make them bring out that intensity of such a strange situation that before this we would have never imagined happening?
Yes, I think for them it was maybe the most bizarre situation, because they had to really think how they would feel, like how they would feel in this confinement, this long confinement, and to be with each other and to be inside an apartment. And I love both actors. I have worked with them before in shorts film that I did. This is my first feature, but I have done directed shorts before. And Renata and Eduardo, they are great. They gave themselves entirely. We did a lot of rehearsal. We rehearsed like almost every scene. We talked a lot about the characters and about their journey and how crazy they would get, but how much they would be able to adapt emotionally and practically, because Iago, he can't work. Giovanna works for them both, but Iago adapts better emotionally, and so all this balance was so important. And when we read the reviews that came after the first festival, Sundance, we were so happy, because everyone was saying, "Oh, the actors are so good. You can relate to them both, and you can believe them, and it's so emotional to see their journey." So I was very happy with the result.
Yeah, it absolutely turned out great. You mentioned how this is your first feature film after working on many shorts. Was there anything that surprised you doing your first feature film compared to all of the shorts that you had worked on?
Yeah, one thing that happened was that the first cut was very long. It was almost 3 hours, and I don't know what happened there. Like, because we didn't put like extra scenes or a lot of improvised. No, it was just, I don't know what happened. Even like the editor, he has experience in editing features, and he said, Iuli, maybe you were too. The way you wrote the script, it was too practical. I don't know, but it was very long, so we had to cut many scenes. But I was happy. Like, I think it's better to have a lot and then to select what is better than, oh, we have to put this scene because we don't have enough film. So it was a good process, and the editor Vicente was great, and we could like to rethink the film, to rethink the structure of the narrative. The structure was there, like we didn't change a lot of the order of the scenes, but it was great like to see what was essential to the film and to the characters and what was repetitive and didn't need to be there. So yeah, my surprise was doing a film that was too long, and we shot in 24 days. It was not a long shooting.
And was there anything that you had to cut from the film that was really hard for you to get rid of from the story?
Yeah, there was one thing that was really funny. That was Iago's online girlfriend, Paulina. When Giovanna is in the glasses and she doesn't get away from the VR glasses, she calls Paulina again, and she says, oh, I don't want anything to do with you anymore. I'm married now. And he says, how are you married? You are alone in your house. No, I'm married here. And then she shows her husband. And she said the difference of being married is that we never hang up. Like, we stay in the phone all day, every day. So it was like this funny scene, but we had to cut because it was too long for the third act. But it was very fun to see her say that. And it was there were others that I missed, but I think this one I remember now. It was very funny.
Yeah, we love the film, and you'll have to release it on Blu-ray or something with all of the scenes that you had to cut.
Yeah, I
will. So the whole movie obviously has a lot of pink in it, and I would love to hear how, in production with the cinematographer and the set and the lighting, how you created that effect.
Yes, from the beginning it was pink. It was always called the pink cloud, and I always wanted it to be pink, and for many reasons. It is a color that is not common, but that happens. Like, you can have pink sunsets here in Brazil or in the US or many countries. So it's not rare, it's not common, but it happens. At the same time, I wanted the color I didn't want the cloud to seem very harmful. I wanted it to be seductive and beautiful. When you look at it and you think, oh, is it true that this is going to kill me? I don't think so, but it does. And with the passage of time, you see that it's harmful. And also, one of the themes in the film is that you see that Giovanna's character is suffering a lot more than Iago's character. So we have this female character that from the beginning, she says the things that she doesn't want to do in her life. And then the cloud makes her do the things that she didn't want little by little. So it's like the cloud is putting her in this box, like, no, you're going to be this kind of woman and this kind of spouse and this kind of person that you don't want to be. So it's like the cloud is like society suffocating this woman, making her be who she doesn't want to be. So this is not an important theme on the film for me. And the pink is always a color that is like set aside for us, for women, like all women should wear pink.
Well, we absolutely love the film so much, and we're so glad that even during a pandemic, we're still able to share it with all of the audience and members. And we're so happy we were able to talk with you today. So thank you very much. And out in cyberspace, just wanted to throw it out there that everyone should make sure to vote for the Alan H. Budd and Suzanne L. Selig Audience Award. You can vote through May 19th, and so if you like the film, definitely make sure to vote. And thank you so much for watching, and recommend it to other people, and have a great day. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.